All right, let's dive into something pretty profound today. We're going to unpack a powerful way of thinking drawn from Buddhist philosophy that offers a path to inner peace. And here's the twist, it's not about changing the world around you, but about completely changing your relationship to it. So let me just ask you this straight up. Do you ever feel like you're in a constant fight with your own life? Always trying to shuffle the deck, rearrange the pieces just to make them fit? It's such a common feeling, right? This idea that if we could just fix our job or our relationships or our situation, then we'd finally be at peace. But what if that whole approach is, well, completely backward? The core idea we're digging into today is that the real path to peace isn't about changing what happens to us. It's about changing how we relate to what happens. And this whole philosophy really stands on two powerful pillars. First, there's radical awareness. This is just about knowing what's actually going on inside your own head and your own body clearly, without any sugarcoating. And second, there's total acceptance. This is huge. It's about seeing every single event not as some problem you have to solve, but as a lesson that's tailor-made to help you grow. And that leads to this really beautiful concept that your life, exactly as it is right now, is the perfect training ground. It's not a mistake. It's not a problem that needs fixing. It's your personal curriculum. In Vietnamese, there's a specific term for this, sinh nhật. It basically refers to the unique path or circumstances of your life. But here's the key. Instead of seeing it as some fixed fate you have to struggle against, you're invited to see it as a personalized lesson plan, perfectly designed for your own enlightenment. And this is the trap. This is where almost all of us get it wrong. We pour all our energy into trying to change the path itself. We're basically trying to rewrite the lesson plan because we don't like the subject. And that resistance, that's the real source of our struggle. So this means the real work isn't out there changing your life's path. Nope. The truly transformational work is in here, changing your attitude, your perception, and your behavior towards that path. We don't adjust the world. We adjust ourselves. Okay, that sounds great in theory, right? But how do we, actually do it? How do we start to build this new attitude? Well, it all comes down to a really practical method that has 3 essential keys. Just 3 core elements. They sound surprisingly simple, but when you put them together, they're incredibly powerful. The first key is simplicity. And what this means is just seeing reality for what it is, without adding our own stories or cutting out the parts we don't like. So if you're feeling anxious, you just observe, okay, anxiety is here. You don't pile on, and this is terrible and it's going to ruin my whole day. You just see what is. The second key is naturalness. This one is all about trusting the rhythm of life. It's the wisdom to just allow things, feelings, situations to arise and pass away on their own schedule, without us trying to force an outcome or rush through a feeling. The source material for this uses a perfect analogy. Just think about it. You can't try to be hungry for lunch, right? Hunger is a natural process. It just shows up on its own time. So many things in our lives work exactly the same way, yet we spend all our time trying to force them. Naturalness is just letting go of all that force. And the final key is objectivity. This means turning down the volume on that constant inner voice of preference. You know the one, I like this, I don't like that. When we can just quiet that subjective judgment, even for a moment, we can start to see the impartial, kind of perfect way that things actually work, without our ego constantly getting in the way. So what happens when you actually combine simplicity, naturalness, and objectivity? Where does this path ultimately take you? Well, it leads to a state of really profound peace and clarity. The ultimate goal here is embodied in this term, New Lai. It's a title for the Buddha, and it literally means one who lives as is. How cool is that? It describes someone who is living completely in reality, just as is, without adding anything to it or taking anything away. It's the perfect expression of simplicity, naturalness, and objectivity all rolled into one. So when you boil it all down, what this all comes to is this incredible shift in perspective. The goal isn't to fight tooth and nail for some better life out there. The goal is to simply stop resisting the one you already have and to finally see it as the perfect teacher it's been all along. So, I'll just leave you with this question to think about. If you truly, deeply believed that you didn't have to change a single thing on the outside to find peace on the inside, what would you do differently today?